Board Game Geek just announced the winners of its annual popularity contest, the Golden Geeks, awards for the board games releasing last year, and I thought we could have a nice, calm chat about them.
But it's an outrage!
Wingspan did very well, taking not just best overall game but a host of others. In fact, I have the complete list right here. Best artwork, best expansion, best solo game, best card game.
It's not a card game! It has eggs in it! And dice.
Best family game, best strategy game.
You can't be both!
Most innovative. Even best podcast under the outrageously nerd-baiting pseudonym of Heavy Cardboard. This has prompted some discussion. I understand being unimpressed when a game you dislike wins awards over games you feel are more deserving. Discovering your experiences don't align with the majority can be upsetting, and a natural response is to complain about the system, or new people in the hobby, or making YouTube video reviews in your spare time. Whether you like Wingspan or not, I don't think anyone is particularly upset it won Best Game, but that's just a matter of opinion or taste. But innovative? Surely innovative is something we should be able to be objective about. There are several responses to the accusation that Wingspan isn't innovative. The boring, though no doubt highly likely cause, is to say that people vote for games that they've played, and Wingspan has been played by vastly more people than the relatively niche, new or out-of-print titles it was going up against. Once it had been nominated, that was that.
It should never have been nominated.
And yet, the Golden Geek nomination system is also based on user votes. A game with enough people nominating it for a category will go through to the finals. So enough people thought it was innovative enough to spend their effort nominating it. And there is a more interesting question. Innovation is a 2010 game by Carl Chuddick. Yes! Nailed it!
Oh, yes. Oh, fabulous. This is... Oh, thank you.
So often in board gaming, we focus on the mechanical details. After all, the rules define the gameplay, and the mechanics are the game. Under that lens, Wingspan's constituent parts are hardly groundbreaking. Action selection, tableau and engine building, a spot of dice drafting. Games using such mechanisms are more numerous than Wingspan's pastel eggs. But then, by that metric, are there any innovative games? A Feast for Odin smashes together worker placement and patchwork. Mystic Vale, deck building and the see-through cards from Gloom. When I play Wingspan, I don't necessarily see anything immediately obviously groundbreaking mechanically, and yet the experience, for me, rises above its constituent parts. It's elegant, graceful, simple, yes, but constructs simplicity from systems often attached to far more complicated games. Many tableau builders operate through an if this then that system. If this situation occurs, then get this ability reward, which often means whenever you take an action, you check your entire tableau for relevant cards that trigger. Replacing that process with a single condition tied to the physical arrangement of the tableau dramatically improves the flow of the game and lightens the cognitive load. The closest comparison I could think of was Lorenzo Il Magnifico, which is a similar row of card activation tableau thing, but it's not the game's sole focus. As I recall, it's just one cog in a greater whole. In Wingspan, it's the heart of the game, and the only time you aren't using it, you're constructing it, adding new birds to it. Like, it's constantly on your mind. Is that the kind of innovation you want to see rewarded? And where do you draw the line? I think for many commenters, what Wingspan has done isn't enough, especially not compared to some of the other titles in the list. But its winning was somewhat inevitable because not enough people had played the others. Is its level of mechanical innovation enough to be on the nomination list, though? That's a lower bar, and one that Wingspan could be argued to have crossed. But mechanics aren't the only measure of innovation. To get a better idea of what innovation means in the wider world, we're talking to innovation podcast expert Ivan Idea. Hi Ivan, are you there?
Hey Robin, love the show.
It's Matt actually.
Who?
Never mind. So, what does it mean to be innovative?
Innovation is the blue sky thinking that makes your customers sit up and say, wow. It's looking under the bonnet of what is, and asking, can we square that circle?
Okay, so like in Wingspan.
Exactly. Just look at that blue sky. You can really tell they thought outside the box.
Thanks for your insights, Ivan.
Can't wait to touch base with you again, Robin.
It's Matt, Maybe beneath all that business bird shit, Ivan had some seed of a point. Wingspan did make the board gaming world sit up and say wow. It did so with a striking theme and presentation. A novel theme as far as big box Eurogames go. It's hardly pasted on either, from neat little connections in the card mechanics to surprising scientific ecosystem details. It's not perfectly thematic, just as it isn't totally unique in its core mechanisms, but it goes above and beyond the typical Euro. And then there's the impact outside the hardcore hobby niche. It has by now sold more units than Stonemeyer's previous hit Scythe, in just over a year. It's insane, nearly 300,000 copies in an industry where selling a few thousand is $4 a hit. On top of that, if you look at the ownership stats on BGG as a kind of rubric for serious hobbyists, Scythe has almost double Wingspan's numbers. Wingspan is a breakout hit in a year, something that simply doesn't happen unless it is doing something different, combining a novel theme with tried and tested mechanics in a uniquely accessible manner. Maybe what we have here is not something mechanically innovative in the traditional way, but something that is innovative when viewed as a complete product. It's natural to assume that innovation presents itself by way of a gimmick, a feature that you can point to and say, that's the unique thing. It's that mechanism there. But innovation also comes from doing old things truly impressively well, taking something complex and making it trivial. It's taking online shopping and making it one click. It's taking tableau building and turning it into rows of dominoes that fall and refall with every action you take, presenting it in so elegant a fashion that even a newcomer to board gaming can grasp it, and making it so appealing that they would want to. Board gaming has rarely seen such a massive breakout hit, and one that has grown to have such an impact in so short a space of time, especially from a traditional style of board game. Whether that is the kind of innovation you want the Golden Geeks to reward is a question up for debate. But to say that Wingspan hasn't innovated at all is, I feel, unfair. I mean, have you felt this linen finish rulebook? Oh, it's so good. Oh, so good. It's just, I could stroke it all day. Oh,